This is a free workshop showing you exactly what you need to do to create a proper business plan as a real estate agent that is guaranteeing you will hit your results so long as you actually execute on it. I've now helped thousands of agents scale their production and smash their goals, oftentimes exceeding them by a landslide by following this exact blueprint. So what I'm going to do today is break down everything that you need to do if you want to set yourself up for massive success in the next 12 months. How to not only identify proper goals, but more importantly, how to break them down and reverse engineer them into the perfect weekly routine and daily schedule that will guarantee you hit your goals so long as you're consistent with it. And I will get into how to be consistent with it as well. So we're going to break down habits, routines, and everything that you need to do that is consistent across top producing 7-figure real estate agents, so that even if the last 12 months didn't go as planned, you can start fresh today. Just because the past didn't go as planned doesn't mean that all hope is lost, and I want to make sure that you absolutely crush it in real estate despite the current market conditions in the next 12 months. So let's dive into my completely free blueprint and workshop of how to leverage business planning to guarantee that you smash your goals and exceed your own expectations. All right, so let's dive into this business planning workshop showing you how to actually reverse engineer your goals in order to guarantee that you achieve them. Now, the one thing before we get started, I want you to drop a comment below and let me know what your goal is for the next 12 months, whether it be 100K GCI, 250, 500, a million, or even if it's just a health goal, or maybe you've got a goal of getting started with video or something like that. Drop a comment below. It's going to be one of the best ways to get held accountable. I want to see what your goals are, so let me know in the comments. And now let's get started. So first, let's preface this with, where do most agents actually go wrong with their goals? And the first one is having a goal but no plan to actually get there. I constantly see agents that say they want to do 24 deals, 50 deals, 100K GCI, 250, 500, but they don't know what they need to be doing on a daily basis to actually get there. It's kind of just this pie in the sky idea of, oh, this is what I would love to do in the next 12 months. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't, then it's probably the same as the last couple of years. But what are you doing, and what do you have in place that says, if I do this and follow this approach, it will get me to those goals? And that's what we need to break down today. And you can also see having an annual goal, but no way to measure if you're on track. If you just say that you've got 24 deals in a year, well, yes, you could say I'm on track or I'm not, just based on saying, well, I've done 2, I got to get 24, I'm not on track. But that's not the right way to approach this. We need to be able to say every single month, are the activities that we're doing actually leading to making sure it is a guaranteed outcome that we will do those 24 deals or that 250K in GCI? So measuring it is not just saying, I've done 2, I need to hit 24, I'm not there. It's more so saying, okay, if I'm not there, what do I need to do to make up that ground to make sure I get there? Only focusing on business is another big problem. And this is what we're going to reverse engineer today, is that goals is not just business. I know a lot of people that are making a ton of money that are completely out of shape, have no self-confidence, terrible relationships with their friends, their family, their partners. And that's not what you want. A proper business plan also is a life plan, because as an entrepreneur, business and life are one and the same. So we need to make sure that we're actually taking care of our health too, and all of these other elements of life to make sure that it's an all-encompassed business plan. A lot of people fall victim to being busy but not productive. They don't have a daily schedule that actually keeps them on track to hitting those goals, and they just start spinning their tires and feeling like, wow, I'm putting 10, 12 hours into my day, but I got nothing to show for it. And we want to make sure that that is never a case. Habits and standards do not align with your goals. This is the biggest issue when it comes to real estate agents, business planning, and goal setting, is that they say they want to do 24 deals a year or 250K in GCI, but they're inconsistent. They lack discipline. They lack time management. They don't follow through with the commitments they make to themselves. They have all of these things that, again, a concept that I've been preaching about on my YouTube channel is that you don't achieve your goals, you achieve your habits and your standards. If you say you want to do 24 deals or 240 deals, if you're not consistent, you're going to do like 2 deals. It doesn't matter what goal you set. You're not even going to be in the realm of hitting it unless you're selling yourself short. if you're not disciplined and following through with the commitments you make to yourself and what's actually in your schedule, you can say you want whatever goal, but you're never going to do it. So we need to rewire habits in order to make sure that we are executing in a way that will get us to our goals. And a lot of people lack belief. And this is because a lot of entrepreneurs are so used to disappointing themselves by not hitting their goals year after year after year that when they set a new goal, they don't even genuinely believe they can do that. And we need to make sure that that yet again is not the case. So what you're going to do, and you want to make sure that you grab a notebook, I always keep one beside me, and start to write out ideas. And you could stop, pause this as we go through or rewind it, but you need to make sure that you start to actually write this out. So first, let's look at the time-bound goals and then the categories, and then we're going to be reverse engineering those goals as well. So when we look at the goals, there's short-term, mid-term, long-term, lifetime, afterlife goals. And this is what you need to think about. And I'll break out how I like to approach the time bound. Short term, I say, is about 3 months. And that's why the book, The 12-Week Year, exists, or why I operate on 12 weeks or quarters instead of annual goals. I set quarterly goals because 3 months or a quarter is enough time to sufficiently get done needle moving activities and big projects, but it's a short enough time to actually measure, because what gets measured gets managed. And this is going to make sure that, again, we now have a measuring stick of are we on track or not based on operating on the short-term goals. Well, the midterm goals is going to be that annual goal. Then you've got the long-term goals, which I like to think is a 5 or 10 or whatever, but 5-year kind of plan. 10 is way too far out to even predict what that's going to look like. Lifetime depends on your age, so just have an idea of your health. And again, you can't predict it, but you can have a general idea in an ideal case of what that could look like. What are the goals you want to achieve when all is said and done, by the end of the day, once you retire or exit the industry? And then afterlife goals, legacy. This is things like generational wealth, leaving some sort of impact on the industry or nonprofit or, volunteer work or whatever you want to do with the success that you're hopefully going to create. Now, the reason why these are important and how I approach this is I say, okay, first, what is my annual goal, my 1-year goal, the midterm goal? And I start in the middle, start with midterm. Then I reverse engineer that into what are the quarterly goals I need to set in order to get there each quarter. And then what we're going to do after that is reverse engineer the first quarter that we're going to start with into a weekly schedule and a daily routine. And once you have that, if you take care of today, tomorrow takes care of itself. As long as you are doing the right activities every single day, you will hit your goals. But that is the caveat, is you need to be doing the right things every single day, the productive activities, not busy activities, that will make sure you get there. So that's what the end goal is with this business planning session. Now, again, as we talked about in the beginning, you need different categories of goals. So you've got mind, body, being, and business. So mind is going to be mental health. What are you doing to take care of yourself mentally in terms of learning, reading books, getting coached and growing as an actual person? Body, health, right? You need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. What's the point of being a multimillionaire if you can't go run with your grandkids, or you can't go, play your favorite sport or do something like that? Being, fulfillment, happiness. What are you doing for your relationships in order to strengthen those? And then business, of course, which is creating wealth. And it's important to set goals for all of these so that way, and again, you don't have to do lifetime goals or afterlife goals for kind of mind, body, and being, but you definitely need to set annual goals and short-term goals, so mid and long-term, or mid and short-term rather, in order to make sure that you're taking care of the whole package. So the first thing that you need to do is, where are you today? You need to identify your current state, right? This goes back to a GPS. A lot of people set goals and they say, okay, I want to do 24 deals in the next 12 months. But what most people don't do is identify where they are today, right? If you set a GPS and you say you want to go to, Calgary, or maybe let's say you want to go from Calgary to Vancouver. Well, if you just type in Vancouver and you put no starting point in the GPS, how are you going to get there? It has no idea where you are, so you can't have a map to actually get there. And that's where so many agents go wrong, is they don't understand or do a deep dive and reflection on their current state. You need to identify the start destination and not just say, I'm screwed, I had a terrible year, I'm starting from zero. Zero doesn't exist. You need to go through these questions to identify where are you today so that you could put in the start destination, the end destination, and then have the GPS, a goal plan and system, in order to get there, or goal plan and strategy. So where are you currently? How many deals are you doing? How many hours are you spending in your day? How's your health? Are you out of shape? Are you eating unhealthy? Where are you currently with your goals and mind, body, being, and business? What is working for you? Maybe you've done a couple deals and they came through referrals, or they came through networking, or they came from Facebook ads, or YouTube, or cold calling, or door knocking. What is working for you that has at least led to some sort of tangible success? On the other side, what is not working for you? Are you sleeping in too late? Are you not following through with your schedule? Are you not putting in the right amount of time for prospecting? Are you getting in your own head and not getting in front of the camera because of your self-sabotaging yourself? Like, what is not working for you today? Are you at the wrong brokerage? It's not giving you the right training tools and resources. This is the type of stuff that we go through every single year, twice a year, actually, with my group at the Wolfpack, where we'll actually help you build this out privately. So if you want to know more, you can click the link in the description and book a one-on-one call with me, and I'll actually help you with this. What are you not doing? This is one of the big concepts that you need to understand, is that most entrepreneurs are not where they want to be, and most realtors are not where they want to be, because most real estate agents are not looking at themselves in the mirror and being honest with themselves. You are not where you want to be, not because you don't have the right training tools or resources. It's because you're not doing the right activities that you already know you need to do. So what are you not doing? Are you not following up? Are you not putting out content? Are you not, prospecting? Are you not learning and studying your market center? And list this out in your document. What are you not doing? And why are you not doing it? Are you scared? Are you, fearful of rejection? Are you fearful of, maybe not making it to a certain success level? Like, what is getting in your way? You need to identify that, because that falls into the components of identifying the coordinates of where you are today. And where are you wasting time? Time management is one of the biggest things. What are you doing that's wasting time? Are you scrolling endlessly on this device? Are you wasting a bunch of time on activities that are not efficient in terms of getting your business to the next level, like spending hours designing stuff on Canva or editing your own videos? That's not really efficient. It is wasting time. So after state, where do you want to go, right? So if we look at this, you can see you identified where you are today, the current state. Now you need to identify, where do you want to go? If you look at all these things that maybe I could use as a new agent, if I was one, I could say, okay, from a mindset perspective, or a mind, body, being business, for the mind component, I need to be more disciplined. I'm saying that I'm going to prospect, but I don't. I say I'm going to go to the gym, but I don't. I say I'm going to follow up, but I don't, or put out content and I don't. That's one of the most important things. So I'm going to be more disciplined. I'm going to read books. I'm going to watch podcasts or listen to podcasts and do what I need to do to learn about how to become more disciplined. Body, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Maybe I'm overweight. I'm grabbing fast food when I'm in between showings and not eating healthy, making the wrong choices. So I want to lose 20 pounds. And that's going to allow me to have more energy, more excitement, and that's going to allow me to operate at a higher level, put more time into my business, and thus grow my business. Being, I want to have more time to spend with friends and family, right? I'm cooped up in here in my office 16 hours a day. This is one of my goals, right? That's why I bought my new house. And if you haven't seen that property tour, click the link in the description or the comment card, and I'll show you that, because it's pretty incredible. But that's one of my big things, is I want to spend more time with friends and family. Business, maybe you're a new agent. I want to close 24 deals in the next 12 months. Well, great. Now that you've got that, you have your starting destination of current state, your after state of where you want to go, and now the GPS is what we need to create next, which is the plan. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we are actually setting SMART goals. If you're in personal development, you would have heard about this many times, which is going to be things like specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If it does not fall into these categories, it is not a goal that you can actually work towards. So if we look at this, let's look at a couple things, and I'll show you what SMART goals can look like. But first, where do you need to start before we get into the SMART goals? And I think this is a concept that I just really want to drive home, is Realtors only need to focus on 3 things when it comes to business. A lot of people overcomplicate the industry. I talk to new agents all the time, and they overcomplicate everything. What should I be doing? Mike, based on my market, what should I be doing? Based on this, what should I be doing? Well, there's only 3 things any agent needs to do, which is get clients, service clients, and nurture clients. Well, if you have no clients, the only thing you need to focus on is getting clients. So the only thing your day should be surrounded about is what do you need to do every single day to generate leads. Now, you can see here the concept of the movable middle. What the movable middle is let's say you're at the 0-yard line of a football field, right? You can't actually physically see the end zone perfectly or the line that's on the ground at the 100-yard line. Well, you can see the 5-yard line. And if we get you to the 5-yard line, you can see the 10. And if you get to 10, you can see 20. It's all about incremental steps that will get you there. You don't need to take a bite-sized, you don't need to take care of everything at once. You need to take bite-sized chunks, right? Typical cliche quote is, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. You can't swallow it. Well, if you want to do 24 deals, don't look at, oh my God, I need to do 24 deals. You need to say, how the heck am I getting my first one? Because if you can get your first one, you can get 2. If you get 2, you can get 4. And then you can start to get to the point of hitting 24 deals. But the movable middle is you get to 1, okay, 1. Then it goes and goes and goes. It's that movable point in your business where the only thing you need to focus on is getting clients. So let's look at some of these SMART goals related to business, and then you need to make sure to go back and do this for the other styles of goals, which is going to be the personal side and all of these other sides, mind, body, and being. The wrong thing is I want to close deals in the next 24 months, 24 deals. Well, that is not specific because we haven't put an exact date, right? I want to close 24 deals by December 31st, 2024. Okay, well, and the caveat to that is don't wait for January to do this, right? The year's not done. Do this when you're watching it. Start as if tomorrow is January 1st with the excitement and passion of a brand new chapter in your business. Well, let's look at this. It's specific, right? The exact number of deals and the month, date, and year. It's measurable because it's quantified based on 24 deals and time. It's achievable because any agent that does the right activities can do 24 deals. If you're a brand new agent, and I've actually talked to agents that have said this, Mike, I've got all this motivation and this ambition, and I'm really going to set my goals high. I'm going to do 100 deals in my first year. Well, it's happened, and it's good to aim high, but ultimately you're almost setting yourself up for guaranteed disappointment coming into the real estate industry, having the audacity to say you're going to do that, right? Having 24, if you exceed that, that's awesome, but you want to actually do something that's achievable. It's relevant. It's specific to the real estate industry. I want to close 24 deals. That is relevant to the industry, and it's time bound because of the fact that you've got a time. So now let's look at what we need to do to get there. The most important thing is going to be looking at your KPIs or key performance indicators. The reason being is because we need to have these indicators to say, are we on track? So for example, you want to close 24 deals by December 31st, 2024, and I currently have no clients. So you're a brand new agent, no clients, no pipeline. Well, let's look at some of the math. And this is just generic, but you can tailor it to your own market. You need to set 2 appointments per week with potential buyers or sellers. So that's 8 appointments per month. Well, you're likely to close 50% of the appointments if you're going up against maybe other agents or more experienced agents, which means that you'll close about 4 per month. And then 50% of those appointments are turning into ready to move now, actual closed transactions, which could be 2 per month. Okay, well that means if we need to do 2 deals per month, we need to look at setting 2 appointments per week in order to get there. But one of the things that you need to be mindful of, going back to this, is that if you don't have any clients today, it might not, and it likely is not going to be 2 deals per month every single month for the next 12 months. It could be you do 0 deals for the first 3 months as you're building momentum, following up, prospecting, putting out content, and then you start to get leads and you have to do 2 deals, 3 deals, 4 deals, 3 deals, 2 deals. And you have to look at where are you today? Do you even have somebody to work with this month? If not, you can't say you're going to do 2 deals this month, right? So we need to look at an all-encompassed picture of this and say, conservatively, what do we need to do and get after it? And if you exceed those expectations, that's great, but you have to be honest with yourself. So what the heck are we going to do to get those appointments? Because that's the indicator we need to care about is, if the deals won't come, if you don't have the leads, and the appointments won't come if you don't have the leads. So what are we doing to get the damn leads? Well, we need to look at proactive and reactive prospecting strategies, or passive and active. So if we look at this, active or proactive prospecting is what every agent needs to do if you have no clients. This is going to give you more now or immediate business. This is going to be things like cold calling, door knocking, or also paid advertising on Google ads or YouTube ads or Facebook ads, for example. The most common approach I see is a choice between cold calling and door knocking, and a choice between Facebook and Google ads. Google ads is going to be higher cost per click, but higher quality, less follow-up, likely to turn into closed deals quicker. Facebook ads is going to be cheaper, but more volume, less quality, more follow-up, more delayed gratification. I would lean probably into Google ads. When you look at prospecting, door knocking, cold calling, right now you're going to see a lot more based on the market conditions, FSBOs and expireds. That's a great way to approach cold calling. I prefer door knocking, but we need to look at conversion rate. So if we want to get those 2 appointments per week, what do we need to do? We need to do 100 calls per week. The caveat in brackets, with intent. It's not about just calling and then somebody says, no, I'm not interested. And then you hang up, you're on the next one because all you want to do is say you hit 100 calls a week. Well, with intent is going to say, I'm not getting off the phone or off the doorstep until I've exhausted every single type of objection handler humanly possible. And I've ran out of steam and there's literally nothing else I can do. Right? That is intent. It's not just what you do, it's how you do it. You need to go into this with the intent of saying, I am not leaving that phone call or that doorstep until I exhaust all efforts to get contact information. Not, okay, nope, they're not interested, on to the next one. You could do 1 million calls a week and still not get anybody, right? So the cost is time. So as a new agent, when I had no money, you have time. So if you have no money, start prospecting. And I door knocked for 3 hours a day, every single day, 7 days a week for 6 months. And I built massive momentum. I actually became a top producer my first year. Then the other alternative is ads, right? So when you look at ads, you have the ability to leverage some of these other ad strategies. Well, if you want, 2 appointments per week, average cost per lead could be $5, upwards of $15. So you might need to spend $500 to $1,500 a month, depending on if you're doing Facebook or Google, or what your approach is, how competitive your market is. So what do you need to do? And do you have a system in place to follow up with those leads? And that's why a lot of agents enroll in the Social Agent Academy, and you can look at my free training in the description below and watch my social media training that shows you how to attract clients at scale, which goes to the reactive or passive prospecting, which is organic content. I recommend every agent to have a YouTube channel because it's the best search-driven way to attract ideal clients, not have to go prospect, but it's delayed gratification. As you can see here, it might take on average 6 months to build momentum, and it should be done in parallel with prospecting, not just saying, oh, I'm only gonna do this. No, you gotta do it all. If you're broke and you have no business, you don't have the right to say, I'm gonna be selective and I'm just gonna do this. You have to do it all. Because the mentality that I had by the end of my first year is I wanted to make sure I look back at the end of the year and say there's nothing I could have done more in order to get business in my first year. But if you only choose one thing because you're selective, well, if you don't hit your goals, you have no excuse. So now let's look at door knocking. And YouTube, this is how I approached it. I said, okay, I need to do 100 doors a week or 400 doors a month. So that's 1,200 doors per quarter. Now we've got our quarterly goal. We can measure it. And you could see, again, if you want my door knocking blueprint, I actually show you how to identify the perfect area, the perfect script, the perfect follow-up, and what I did in order to convert at a ridiculous rate. So if you want that, drop a comment below, just say door knocking blueprint, and I'll send you the full video of that. It is insane, and it's literally exactly what I did in a difficult market like we're in now. And then when it comes to YouTube, well, if you want to succeed at that, you got to be putting out 2 videos a week, which is 8 videos per month, which is 24 videos per quarter. And you can see here, Again, if you would like my video blueprint showing you how to rank #1 in your market for free, drop a comment below and say video blueprint, and I will give you that. So if you prefer door knocking or video, or you want both, just let us know and we will send that to you. But those are complete guides of how to excel at both of those activities. Now what you need to do is you need to reverse engineer it into a weekly schedule. So this is what mine looks like. And again, I'll kind of briefly touch on some of the other activities that would go in on the next slide. But as you can see here, I had overall themes, and then I broke it down even further into a daily routine, which I will show you on the next slide. But you can see here, door knock 3 hours every single day. I actually, in the beginning, for the first 6 months, did it on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, but then I dialed it back after that. And then I had a dedicated day toward, as you can see here, content. If it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist, and you will always make time for your priorities. If you're watching this and you're saying, well, I don't have time to record content, you're lying to yourself. Don't try and convince anybody that that's the truth. Most of the agents that are crushing it, and actually all of the agents in my group that are crushing it, have multiple kids, like 3 to 4 kids. They're all married. They all do high production. They all have to do other things, but they're still putting out content every single week because they made it a priority. So you have no excuse not to be putting out content. You're just lying to yourself. And then showings. Usually clients want to do showings on the evenings and weekends, so we need to save those for our clients. Now when we come down here, what did that look like for me? Well, I would always get up at 4 a.m. You might get up at 5 a.m., for example, and then go to the gym. Well, the gym takes care of some of the things like our health, right? Our body goals. Then morning routine. For me, it was getting up and stretching, showering, making sure that I have my protein shake and my athletic greens and things like that. And then I wanted to be up to date on the market. So by 9 o'clock, I would do market data research and look at what's selling, what's pending, what's active, what's new, what's going on in the market to educate myself so I could speak in my content and with clients with educated experience. Client follow-up. This is really important because we need to make sure that we are actually following up with clients so that the leads don't just stay as leads, they turn into appointments. And then for some people, they like to prospect 11 to 1 or something like that, and then appointments in the evening, and then prepare for tomorrow because you always want to prepare for the next day, the night before, while everything's fresh and you know the important activities that need to get done. Mine was a little bit different. I wanted to prospect when I knew the majority of people would be at home, so I prospected from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. every single day. It annoyed the hell out of people during dinner, but I knew that I would have the most number of conversations, which was the goal. And we can see here, you need to look at the important tasks that will come up and are necessary, right? So this is where a lot of agents go wrong, is they will build out a perfect calendar, but they don't leave any time for the tasks that they know will come up, and then they get thrown off schedule and thrown for a loop because all of these things that are inevitably come up, they don't have time to do them in their schedule, and now they get off track. So you're going to have to do home evaluations for the leads you're generating. You're going to have to learn and fill your mind with good stuff in order to grow your mindset. You're going to have to network, client communication, time for listing input, buyer input on your transaction site or whatever your brokerage is using. Making sure you're scheduling photos, videos, and measurements, inspections, closing. So what you need to do with your calendar is, yes, you want to have it pretty dialed in, but you want to have the core activities dialed in. And again, the only thing you need to care about or have in your schedule if you're broke or have no clients or no full pipeline is prospecting and content. Nothing else exists. Well, prospecting is 2 to 3 hours a day. Content is once a week for 4 hours. You've got plenty of time to block other time off to do stuff like this, but the non-negotiables have to be getting clients. And then once you get clients, you need to block off more time for servicing those clients, the appointments, the showings, things like that. And then once you actually get closed deals, that's where you then need to go back to the drawing board and start adding in things like client follow-up, client nurturing, birthdays, holidays, all that type of stuff in order to make sure that you're properly nurturing it. But in the beginning, it doesn't get any easier because all you have to do is get clients. Following up doesn't matter. In terms of the leads, it does, but with clients, you have none. Well, nurturing them or servicing them, you don't have to service anything. You don't have anything. All you need to do every day is wake up and say, how am I getting my next client? Prospecting content. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. So Leverage the power list. This is what I do every single day. I have for the last couple of years. It completely changed my business forever. And this allows you to stay on track. So what are the 5 income producing activities that move the business forward? So many people create these useless to-do lists that literally are going to just keep your wheels spinning in the mud instead of propelling your business forward. Write these out the night before. Again, going back to this, prepare the night before on, you can see here, the last kind of appointment. Take 30 minutes to prepare for the next day. And then do these tasks when you have the most amount of energy. That is going to be usually in the morning. So get up, get after it, because that way, for me, I was prospecting in the evening. By noon, I got done all the big tasks that I knew needed to move the needle of my business forward, so that I basically won the day before half of the day was even over. And then I prospected to get more business, and I rinsed and repeated that cycle. So examples of things that should be on a power list: 2 to 3 hours of prospecting, 1 hour of online lead follow-up, 1 hour of nurturing your sphere, batch content for TikTok, batch content for YouTube, batch content for Instagram, complete a CMA market data analysis for the 3 properties that your leads have. Well, examples of items that are not found on the power list: things like groceries, laundry, cooking, cleaning, gym. Like, that is part of a schedule. It's in your routine, but you need to fit that in between the activities that actually move your business and your life forward. So let's talk about this. The wedge of expectations. This is one of the most important things that is going to make sure you actually hit your goals and don't burn out, get disappointed, and quit. Every single agent I see, when they go to their business plan, they design a ceiling, which is their ideal day, right? It could look like this. This is the ideal day, right? For you, maybe. Well, what happens when you wake up, you feel sick, you just lost a listing appointment, you had an argument with your spouse, somebody unfortunately passed away, or something happened and it completely derailed your day? But what most agents do is they design a ceiling, the ideal day. They don't design for the not ideal day. And when the not ideal comes, which is inevitable for every single one of us, they don't know where to go, what to do, and they just say, well, screw it, I'm just going to throw the whole day out and start tomorrow. The worst thing you can do is break momentum. It's like driving a car down the highway at 100 miles an hour. Well, if you go from 100 miles an hour to 30 miles an hour because you just threw the day out, the amount of energy it takes to get back up to 100 is huge. But if you design a floor, or the not ideal day, and you go from 100 to 80, it takes a fraction of the energy to get back up to full momentum, because you're going 20, not 70 difference. So you will never be 100% every day. Anybody that tells you that you will be is completely lying. And again, we want to set yourself up for success. So what does, for example, prospecting and fitness? Well, prospecting, the ceiling, the ideal day could be 100 doors, 100 cold calls, 2 YouTube videos. Well, the floor, if shit hits the fan and it doesn't go as planned and you're feeling like trash, is follow up with 10 leads or past clients. Just follow up with them, send them a text, send them an email. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Just thinking about you. If there's anything I can do to help or be of value to you, let me know. Love to connect you with anybody that will help you get, whatever you're looking to get done, right? But at least that way you do something. The worst thing to do is do nothing. Fitness, ceiling, 1 hour of hard, heavy weightlifting. Well, if you're not feeling good, if you're on vacation, if shit hit the fan, and again, you're in a terrible mood, you lost $1 million listing, well, just go for at least a 15-minute walk outside. And that way you're always winning the day, because you're always staying momentum, because you've designed for the not ideal. So how to guarantee that you're going to win. This is how I want to bring this full circle. You always have to ask yourself throughout the day, and this is going to be life-changing for people to actually apply it, will it make the boat go faster? So decades ago, there was the rowing team in the United States, and they were basically going to lose the Olympics, and they were doing absolutely terrible. And instead of changing up the routine, what the coach asked all of the rowers to do, and there's a full book on this, said, everything you do throughout the day, ask yourself, will it make the boat go faster? How you're eating, how you're sleeping, how you're training. It doesn't matter what you're doing. All you have to ask yourself is it going to make the boat go faster? If the answer is yes, keep doing it. If the answer is no, stop. Go on to the next thing, right? They ended up winning because everybody embodied this aspect or this notion. So throughout the day, Ask yourself this. If you're scrolling on social media, ask yourself, will it make the boat go faster? Is this getting me closer to my goals? If no, stop, put it down. If yes, keep doing it. The answer is no. Well, if you're prospecting, will it make the boat go faster? Yes. If you're following up with clients, yes. If you're designing BS on Canva, no. Right? So you have to ask yourself with every activity you're doing, every 15 to 30 minutes, will it make the boat go faster? You will not achieve your goals. You achieve your standards and your habits. These are the things that will make you win. Discipline. If you put something in your calendar, follow through with it. The one thing agents do terribly is they put something in their calendar and then a lender or a title rep or a lawyer wants to meet with them for a coffee, or another agent, and they say, well, I don't feel like prospecting, recording videos. Yeah, let's go for coffee. Well, it's terrible to do that because you're not doing the activities that are in your calendar that move the needle of your business forward. You're being busy, not productive. Consistency. That is the key, being consistent with the right activities every single day. Volume negates luck. If you're consistent, you get enough repetitions into any activity. If you spend 100 hours on one activity, you'll be better than 95% of the industry of that activity, right? So if you spend 100 hours over the next 12 months recording videos, which is only 16 minutes a day, or you spend 100 hours doing cold calling or door knocking, you'll be better than 95% of every other agent in your market center. That comes from consistency. Trust the process. I've got endless blueprints. And again, my free social media training, which you can get in the link in the description, shows you how to attract clients at scale. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just look at what's already been proven to work and do it without question. Focus on excelling at a couple things, not dabbling in a bunch. So many agents say that they're overwhelmed, they're confused, they don't know where to start, don't know where to go, because they're trying to be average and mediocre at so many different things instead of becoming the master at one or two. And what you'll see with any very, very strong agent is their bread and butter is one or two things that bring them about 80-90% of the business. For me, it's YouTube. So I go all in on YouTube. And then social media in terms of other platforms of building my brand. But that's where I stay. I stay in my lane. When you become the best at it, you will win. And then again, the concept, if you win today, tomorrow will take care of itself. You don't need to be overly worried about the next year. Focus on today. The next year doesn't even exist. If you win today, tomorrow takes care of itself. So all you need to be doing is focusing on winning today, looking at that daily routine and saying, hey, floor, ceiling, let's get after it. As long as I do the right activities today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day, I will hit my goals. But you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to make sure you're intentional with following through with the right activities, not the busy activities, but the difficult activities that nobody likes to do but need to be done at the beginning, like prospecting, content, things like that. So thank you so much, and hopefully this is a massive help. If you have any other questions about your business planning sessions, drop a comment below. If you want to talk about partnering with me, you can click the link in the description. We will help you with this. But again, send this to a friend. Share this with a friend that needs to get their act together and win over the next 12 months. If you know somebody that had a struggle this year, send this to them. That's part of impact, is sending this to other people and helping them get out of the rut. And by not doing that, you're doing a disservice to yourself and your friend or business partner. So again, thank you so much. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe for a ton more videos like this. I want to help you win. I want to see you win and build the business of your dreams.